the CG and the VFX on this sequence, oh my God, this is so good. This is so good. I don't think I've ever seen... Yeah, guys, so get prepared now. We're going to be talking about wet hair for 10 minutes now. Well, this sequence is just like really good.
This podcast is brought to you by Befores and Afters magazine. Befores and Afters magazine is the monthly print mag from VFX journalist Ian Fales. Go in-depth on key visual effects topics with major VFX supervisors, artists and studios. Each issue covers a different area like creature animation, miniatures, on-set VFX and VFX tools. Find your copy at beforesandafters.com/magazine.
This podcast is also brought to you by HUGOSDESK Nuke Compositing course. Join today to have access to 150 pre-recorded classes, 50 hours of training, using real production assets covering industry standard techniques with over 200 gigs of showreel material and access to a private Discord channel with over 2,300 students. This course is endorsed by Foundry and has access to a Foundry student license paid separately. Join today at hugosdesk.myshopify.com. And now on to the show.
Hi everyone, welcome to this special VFX Notes extra bonus episode from Hugo and Ian. Hi Hugo, how you going?
Hi, I'm good, Ian. I'm good. I almost thought you were going to say from the Hugo and Ian and Hugo show.
This is a follow-on from our Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes episode, which you can now watch on YouTube.
Yeah.
But we're going to dive into an amazing sequence in the film, which is, spoiler alert, the death of Raka. This is where he is, they're on a bridge being, hunted ultimately by Proximus's raiders, and Raka saves May, but gives up his life to do that in some rapids. It's an incredible sequence, right, Hugo?
Yeah.
I mean, what else can you say?
Okay, so the episode is over. Thank you so much, guys. So I what else can you say? Like I just came to my mind now. Is he dead? Maybe he's not dead.
Well,
maybe
we're hoping he's not dead,
because
he's
we
just
don't
been
see,
pushed down the river.
Yeah, we don't see what happened, so maybe he doesn't. Maybe he knows how to swim. You never know. Anyway, I hope he doesn't die because I really love his character, and I would be prepared to watch a Raka movie. Get the Raka movie done because I want to know.
Kingdom of the Planet of the Rakas.
But I don't you want to know about his friend that died, and I want to know all about that library he had and the friend he had, which was his village, and I want to know all about that. So let's do a TV show spin-off with Raka. Let's go
Streaming Raka.
Yeah.
Streaming Raka.
8 episodes. Yeah. Come on, Wes, do it. Get this done.
Get into it.
Get into it. Why is it not done yet? Yeah, what can I say? It's my favorite sequence on the movie from a lot of things. First of all, because it's Raka's death, which is unfortunate but really necessary, because I believe that the film needed the stakes to be higher at that moment, and I think it really made that happen, really. This death was surprising and was something that we were not expecting, and it really... it's heartfelt, it's sad, it really also brings May and Noah even closer together because of this death, because they loved him so much. And besides of all of that, because it's such a fantastic piece of acting and a fantastic sequence, really well thought through, the CG and the VFX on this sequence, oh my God, this is so good. This is so good. I don't think I've ever seen... Yeah, guys, so get prepared now. We're going to be talking about wet hair for 10 minutes now. Well, this sequence is just like really good.
If you guys have watched the YouTube video of our Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes episode, we do go through the process that Weta went through from capture to ingest, animation, simulation, all that kind of thing with hair and fur. In this particular sequence, what is amazing, Hugo, is how much they physically shot, right?
Yeah.
They built a partial set with a running rapids, with the actor in mocap gear, actors also part of this, stunt performers. There is that clearly is the most amazing plate and reference for what WetaFX had to do. Ultimately, to simulate this river rapids took something like 1.2 petabytes of disk space. That's something that the team told me from the magazine article.
It's so much space, Jesus
Oh my
Christ.
God, just for the effect simulations for that scene.
It's so much.
By the way, once you can grab the print magazine version of my article for Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, I've got some great breakdowns of this sequence in there, which shows the capture through to the simulation work and hair and fur. So that's a bit of a plug for the magazine. But yeah, just a lot going on in this sequence, right, Hugo?
Yeah, they built this huge set, went to it. What can I say? They've actually made a river. They've built a river. That's where we are now, making rivers.
Yeah.
And this is like a circular pump, like going around, trying to get, as they say, it's 8,000 liters an hour pumping into this pump. And yeah, it already looks really good, even as it is on the plate. The water is fast.
Already looks good.
It already looks really good, and on any other normal movie, it would be fine, but not this one. They had to do it in full CG again, and it's even better. It becomes even more dangerous. Of course, they had to, for it to be really dangerous, they had to make it much faster, but it would have become very dangerous for the actors to act on this thing. And so, again, it is really necessary because, people might be considering, why did they bother to do all this water simulation? Because they could have maybe shot it with closer angles, or maybe shot it with faster water passing through. But it's really dangerous. It's really dangerous to be almost being, on such a fast water, because you're going to have difficulty breathing. There's water splashing on your face all the time. There's particles of water. It really is fast as well. So, and for you to make it also, let's not forget, especially when Raka is dying, this is a super wide lens, super wide angle showing his face. You couldn't really fake the water. It would never look as dangerous as it did here, so that's why they ended up doing, like you said, the petabyte of storage. They ended up simulating 1 kilometer of water passing through the river to try to get any type of relens. Like, you had to simulate that mass so that you can get the speed of the water going. That's why.
For me, Hugo, this sequence is all about the details. And one of the biggest details is Raka's fur.
Yeah.
When I talked to the team at WetaFX, they said to me, well, we couldn't find that much reference of orangutans in water. But when we saw what they did look like when the fur was wet, or when similar characters or creatures were wet, there's a certain kind of thing that happens to the hair underwater. And it's kind of this parting of the fur, right? The water becomes like rivulets going down, and the fur becomes this kind of parting thing. I actually remember watching the film and thinking about that. Now, I was totally engrossed in the character, but I was like, oh my God, they've done something different there with the fur sims to deal very properly with the water there. And when I eventually got around to talking to them, I thought, that's amazing. That took a lot of time, effort, research, R&D, just to pull off the fur parting that they did for Raka.
Yeah, it has to do with the clumping of the fur and the way that gets attached. And we're talking about a lot of fur. It's supposedly 500,000 strains of fur that are groomed on Raka. And so, this required them to actually create custom simulations just for that close-up shots, because obviously they have fur simulation and wetness simulation for other shots in other parts of the film, but we're so close. We're so close on this moment that he dies that it needs an extra level of detail. They even ended up doing multiple passes of water. They had waters with clear water, aerated water, foamy water, and then had to somehow merge this into their pipeline of deep composting to try to merge the watering layers inside of Nuke into the CG particles as well, and the CG also the render, the actual render of the fur, together with, and even the fur has wetness maps, it has small droplets, it has little pieces of just stuff, you just get these little things that are attached to the fur, just little pieces of debris and pieces of whatever. It's really detailed, and I don't think I've ever seen anything like that. Really, like I think it's really.
I've not really. No, it's just so great. One other thing I found out about this sequence, which is really interesting, is that they actually had to revisit it a couple of times, and that wasn't because of some problem with rendering or even the problem of performance. It was about getting the line right. The actor, Peter Macon, delivered a certain line on set, and then Wes Ball, the director, thought, I think we should maybe bring it closer to the apes together strong stuff that happens with Caesar in the first film. And then I think there was even another incarnation attempted, so Peter would be motion captured again. By the end of it, Peter had to deliver the line again just on an iPhone and Weta, use that as reference for the final delivery as the last line that Raka says. So I think that is just such a cool thing because Wes is trying to get the scene right, trying to get the emotional beat right. And these guys, they're troubleshooters. They'll use all the tools, technology, and tricks just to get the shot done. If that means getting it on an iPhone, despite the fact that we have these incredible high-tech performance capture approaches, then why not?
Yeah.
That's what it gives Weta the reference they need to carry out that performance. And I think it obviously works well for this scene because it does tie in much closer to what Caesar is known for, which is apes together strong.
Yeah, and the cool thing is that we never get preview to these things. We never get access to this thing, and you see this entire thing being constructed on the raw cut, because on the raw cut you see the original performance with the water, and you can see the actor is struggling with the water in his mouth, and the entire rapid is going through. I don't really believe that he would be able to deliver and really an outstanding performance with so much water on his face. And then you see the extra performances on top, and then you see that that thing that you're talking about, like the iPhone footage of him on top. And it's really, how cool is that, Ian? How cool is that we got to see it? Because they never showed mistakes. Not mistakes, but I mean is like, the work progress of getting to something. They would always never admit that they had to do multiple takes to get there, or most often we never get to see a crappy iPhone footage of an actor because or marketing doesn't like it, or the actor doesn't want to show it, or they don't think it's worth it to show to the public. Or how cool is it that we actually get to see it, and actually we see that footage of the actor doing that. We often get to see that with animators. We often see the reference footage that they do for the animators, but this is a different beast here. This is an Hollywood actor, an established actor doing that thing, and they let it there, like on the raw cut. It's actually available to the public to watch, which is fantastic.
One final thing I just wanted to share about Raka that the WetaFX team told me, Hugo, was about how they got the look for him. Now, Weta has done orangutans before, and it's in the previous Apes films as Maurice.
Yeah.
Here, what's really interesting is that, there's concept art, there's photo reference, but Wes Ball and Weta narrowed in on one particular orangutan that they had a photo of, like a single photo of. And Eric Winquist, the visual effects supervisor, did a reverse image search and found out that the orangutan is actually in a zoo in Germany. Well, one of Weta's visual effects supervisors, Philip, their brother-in-law, lives in Germany and went to the zoo and was allowed to take photos of this orangutan from multiple angles. And I think why Wes loved this orangutan is that he had a particular look, sort of a fuzzy kind of hair bobble thing happening at the front, which is in the final Raka, model. And I just love that, like, the ingenuity just to find this orangutan and be able to send someone there is pretty cool. And in the print magazine, I talk about that in particular because I just thought it was really awesome that somewhere a character like this can start with a single photograph.
Yeah.
That a director can get very inspired by, and really, a director can see that photo and go, "That's our character."
Yeah,
I mean, I think that's super cool.
I didn't know that part of the story about the brother living in Germany and going to take the pictures, because this is a fantastic story, and I think that's why it's on the behind the scenes on the main documentary of the Blu-ray. They talk about this, but they only mention it briefly. They only show the photo, and then they just say they went to Germany to a zoo to take photos. So it's not as detailed as the story you have on the magazine. But it's such a great story. It's one of those behind-the-scenes stories that people love. That's why they talk about it. That's why it's on the documentary. But also, I just wanted to add, like, what times we're living now, Ian. Where back in the 90s or back in the 2000s, you couldn't even do this. Like, you would have a photo of an orangutan somewhere. How the hell would you ever find this orangutan? It's amazing, because you imagine you would, I remember when I was a kid, I had all these encyclopedias on the living room. It sounds so quaint now. I think we all had. And I would go to volume 20 and then would see some photos. And then, okay, this is a photo of a monkey somewhere. And you would never know where it is. Like, okay, I don't know. So back in that time, like, they would have this photo. And unless they would be lucky enough to find the person, they would never find where the orangutan is. What kind of times we're living now that you can just go to Google and do Google image search and you can find the bloody orangutan on the internet. It's fascinating, isn't it? Like, things are so different now, and we lived through this. Like, I found that story when I read it on your magazine. I thought it was really touching, and it was really, really funny as well. How one single picture can drive this entire thing, and I'm sure this orangutan is special, and it looks quirky, and it looks weird, and it looks strange because that orangutan looks like that, and it's so cool,
Yeah, super cool. All right, well, thanks again for chatting with me, Hugo, and hope you guys enjoyed that. Also, Hugo, #Raka is alive.
I hope he is. Or if he's not alive, make the prequel TV show happen,
#Raka prequel. Okay.
I want to know all about his library. I want to know all about his friend. I want to know all about that, Let's go.
Thanks, Hugo. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.